The year of 1963 in many ways defined the civil rights movement. Alabama Governor George Wallace stood on the Capitol building steps and declared,
"Segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever."
The 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham resulted in the deaths of 4 young girls. Water cannons were being used on protesters. Medgar Evers was assassinated in his driveway in Jackson, Mississippi. But only a few miles away in Carrollton, Georgia, Mrs. Lillian Williams quietly enrolled as a college student. Under the guidance of Dr. James E. Boyd, president of West Georgia College, the school integrated voluntarily.
I was just before graduating. I had been working in the admissions office for 4 years, so I was almost like a full-time employee. So I was opened the mail, and a letter came out on Carver High letterhead. I said, "Oh my God. This is interesting, this is something." And it wasn't an application at that point, it was a letter inquiring about the process for admission and so on, indicating an interest in being admitted. And I walked over and dropped the letter on the desk of the director of admissions. We were very excited about the fact that we had this inquiry and exactly what strategy would be pursued.
Dr. Boyd really was torn between following the rules of the regents and following what he considered to be the proper thing to do. Now, it made sense for her to enroll at West Georgia rather than paying the high fees that she would have paid going to Atlanta University or going a great distance to Fort Valley State College. He somehow obtained permission to go beyond the rules and enroll Ms. Williams at West Georgia. He was running a considerable risk in asking for this exception to the rules and then in implementing the exception once he'd received it.
In the summer of 1963, Mrs. Williams became the first African American student to formally enter West Georgia College. With great courage, she peacefully led the university into a new era of equality.
When we were told that she was going to go to West Georgia, we knew it was something special, and we knew it was something dangerous. I knew it was something dangerous. I don't remember being afraid, but I knew it was something big and something could possibly happen. And I remember seeing the sheriff and the police cars drive in front of our house. That was a big deal, because it must have been to keep us safe.
She was nervous a lot of times, especially when she first went. We had to have members of the community, teachers, other teachers, people who were friends of my dad's who coached with him, actually escort her out to West Georgia to keep her safe. There was one incident she told me about where somebody said something that was really offensive and about her drinking water out of the water fountain there. Fortunately, she had some teachers that were with her, and these guys were pretty hefty guys. And they took him to task over what he had said. He was eventually expelled from West Georgia because of that.
But she must have felt safe, because I do remember a geography class she took, and I came on campus with her, and we went to the geography building, into the map room, somewhere in there, and I was helping her do an assignment. So I think if she had been afraid, she never would have brought me on campus with her.
While raising a family and working as a teacher at Hudson Elementary School in Bowden, Georgia, Lillian pursued a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education and became the first African American student to graduate from West Georgia College in 1967, breaking yet another barrier. After graduation, she continued her career in the Carroll County school system as a teacher at Sand Hill Elementary and went on to obtain her master's degree from West Georgia College in 1972.
As her children were growing up, I can remember Clarence, her oldest, and Faye being in elementary school, and how it was important. She would go home from her teaching job and she would teach them how to read, how to write the way that a mother teacher would want to teach her children. which is different from mother teaching. It becomes a little bit harder. She was a little bit stricter on them because she wanted to protect them from the ills of this world. It was our thought process that the smarter you are, the better off you're going to be, and the better you will be able to handle the issues out there.
I was kind of like her special project. So my mom taught me from as long as I can remember. I had a certain part of the day I had to go read. I was limited. We had just gotten a brand new television and I was in awe. I remember when I was little and couldn't watch it. I had to read, I had to write. It was like they had this path they wanted me to go down. I never once faltered about going to college because that was always, hey, it was going to happen. That's like the rest of your life. You got to go to elementary school, you got to go to high school, you got to go to college.
Times when I'd be out playing, having the best time of my life with my friends, riding my bike, and she called me in a split second, Travis, I need you to come in the house. And I'd come in the house and she'd hand me a book. You need to read this book for me. And she'd sit down on the couch and I'd have to sit beside her and I'd be mad because I could still hear my friends out riding their bikes, playing games, and I would have to read to her. And she was like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it. You know, you're not gonna be one that can't do it. You're gonna be able to do it.
When they ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? There were things that could hold you back, but your color was never one of those because that never was an issue. That never came up that way. It was if I said I wanted to be an astronaut, okay, that means you're going to have to study hard in science because you have to know science to be an astronaut. But this was in the 50s and 60s and it had nothing to do with our, you're going to have to work hard because you're black. In fact, when I got older, I remember something my dad told me, and I think it was my dad and my mama's philosophy. Daddy said, you might not get everything you try to get. You may not get it because you didn't dress right that day. You didn't know enough to get the job. Or you didn't interview well to get the job. You can fix all of those things, but you never say the reason that you didn't succeed is because of your skin color, because there's not a thing you can do about that.
In 1985, West Georgia College presented Lillian with the Founders Award, the highest honor granted by the university. She was then and is still a true example of a champion for education of all people.
Her main focus for me was to just focus on school, making a good grades, and getting a really good job. That was her focus for me because I had just sustained a motor vehicle accident. So she was really concerned about what my future would look like instead of telling me about her historical moments and her accomplishments.
The biggest word that she had for her children, biggest words, to persevere, to stay encouraged, to stay focused, to have a purpose. And that purpose is only one that you can determine for yourself, and let nothing take that away.
In April of 2014, the University of West Georgia held a dedication ceremony honoring Lillian and her family. Community members and leaders joined UWG faculty, staff, and students in paying tribute through the dedication of an oak tree in her name. The oak, located on Front Campus Drive, is a reminder of her courage, strength, and passion for education.
She will probably want to be remembered as that person who put children first, who cared about children being educated and doing the best they could do and going as far as you can go. And I think she'd be very, very humbled by what's going on in her name now. She would never ask for any of this. on her own. She'd be very happy that somebody else thought about her. But she would quietly go off into the sunset, as she did, without, making a big deal about the things she had accomplished. She passed away the way she lived. My mother passed away. She gave us one of the greatest gifts a parent can give a child. She went out content.
Because of Lillian's brave example, the University of West Georgia can proudly celebrate diversity. Her legacy will continue to be a great inspiration.